I'm with Eric Duncan, Mayor of North Dundas, Ontario. Mayor Duncan, thank you for the time.
Thanks for coming.
You're a very unusual politician in that you are young and a conservative. You, as I think it was 8 or 9 years old, actually wanted to be MP. Why MP instead of Prime Minister?
Well, I always laugh and kind of temper that too. When I got involved in politics, I think the first time I got exposed to it was my aunt. She ran for the Reform Party back in 1993. Mm-hmm. I had kind of vague memories of that, and that always kind of interested me. But my work for wanting to be involved, I think, more in politics as opposed to an MP or an MPP, or even I'd love the job being mayor now. This serving in public life, I think, kind of came from that, and came from, most importantly, like some of the volunteer work I was involved with. I got involved really young with the South Mountain Fair, with different groups. I got into my students' council in high school. I always kind of saw my community work, or an extension of my community work, being the chance to serve on, to serve in public life in whatever manner. So I started off at the municipal in 2006. I was fortunate to get elected as councillor, and then now as mayor last year, and just love the job.
Now, you're also executive assistant to our MP, Mr. Guy Lauzon. Yeah. That has to be a full workload, and very different being the guy behind the scenes than being the candidate.
Exactly. Well, it works out perfect. Like Guy's been absolutely fabulous, and it works out well in terms of the balance with everything. And I don't mind being behind the scenes. Like in a mayor, we have our council meetings and you have your spokespersons type of thing. But I always like kind of doing the work behind the scenes and working on issues. That's what I actually love most about municipal politics, and most with our council type of thing. It's nonpartisan in terms of party affiliation. It's really pragmatic and stuff. So we got a good group. We have 5 guys in our council, and we get along really well. And it's that avenue. It's where you have your public council meetings and stuff, but it's usually lower. It's not like a House of Commons or a Queen's Park type of thing where it's not as hostile type of thing. It's a really good, calm environment, I guess you should say.
Now, a lot of people attribute being a conservative with sort of being older. Like there's that old line that you'd be crazy not to be a communist before you're 25 and crazy not to be a conservative after you're 45. At such a young age, what attracts you to being a conservative?
My family had a good background, has a kind of exposed in that regard. My mom and dad have always been kind of strong conservatives, and that's I think where I was first kind of exposed that way. But again, I always look at my municipal work. You consider yourself pragmatic, and I find when we talk about pragmatic things, and whether you look at a federal level or being a poli-sci student, you look over the course of time, and many of the governments at all different levels, there's a strong element of conservatism, particularly on the fiscal side of things too, right? So I think the municipal, that's the best part too. Every person that comes on council, there's no party affiliation, but I just think it's natural from a monetary perspective to be, reserved as best as you can and use your money as wisely. So that mentality and that mindset has always been something I've always.
Now, your own election, you defeated a longtime incumbent, and you kicked butt in that election. You had great numbers. Mr. Lauzon's numbers have been astounding with you being behind the scenes on that one, and of course with the MPP, Mr. McDonnell, you also were attributed to being a big part of that success. Are you the big blue machine in SD&G?
I'm a small part of that machine that way. We have a lot of volunteers, and that's the one thing we look at. Volunteers really help make elections type of thing. We've been very fortunate over, I've been involved in helping out in different campaigns of all levels for about 7 years now, and it's the ability to have people to go and help put signs up, knock on doors, get out your vote, the whole thing. That makes a key difference. So again, I'm one of hundreds of volunteers that get involved in the campaign. We have a lot of people that work, and a lot of people that have their fortes. We have a good sign crew. We have a lot of different areas on that. People like door knocking. Some people like going to debates for support, whatever it may be. But it's we've got a good machine in the sense where people are comfortable and have a good forte with a lot of jobs that they do.
Now, with Mr. Lauzon advancing in age and having a long run as MP, there most likely will be a position available for the Conservative Party either next election or the one after. Would you say it's fair that you would be a front runner for that?
I don't know. I always kind of temper it too. I just done some interviews with some of the local press talking about a year in review type of thing and looking ahead. And so I have trouble, kind of planning for next week or kind of what's going on as opposed to a long time away. And I laugh. And Guy he's been this third or fourth 2004 fourth term that he's been in, but he's got the energy equivalent to a person my age. So I said I don't plan anything that way. He's got a ton of energy. He loves the job, what he does that way, and I kind of focus on whatever first my municipal work. We'll have a municipal election before we have anything else. So I kind of focus, I don't make long-term plans that way because they say a week's an eternity in politics, and especially the municipal level, that type of thing. I love what I do here, so as long as I can keep doing it here, that's what I'm most focused on right now.
All right, and to end this, it's Christmas and the holiday time. Would you like to address the public?
Absolutely. I wish everybody in North Dundas, across SD&G, the city of Cornwall, and all the viewers of the Cornwall Free News a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all the best for the new year. Had a great 2011, and in North Dundas here and across, I think Eastern Ontario had a great year as well. So hopefully that'll continue in 2012.
Thank you very much.